Looking back at this past offseason, one of the very major pluses as far as pickups of Ryan Poles was the acquisition of former Chiefs offensive lineman Joe Thuney. This article is from a Chiefs publication, basically talking about the impact that Joe Thuney had on Trey Smith. My thing is the Chiefs guys tagged Trey Smith, but there's a possibility that, hopefully, now this is wishful thinking on my behalf. Hopefully, from a salary cap point of view, there's no long-term way that the Chiefs can keep Trey Smith. Hopefully, because it happens to every championship dynasty. Every team that's a perennial playoff contender year in and year out, sooner or later, you call a salary cap. No matter how many times you do it, sooner or later, you're going to run out of avenues and you're going to start to lose people. And I'm hoping, because one thing I might not agree with Ryan Poles sometimes as far as moves he's made in the past, lack thereof, holding on to certain players that didn't deserve that. One thing I can say about him, he's pretty good at managing the salary cap. So I'm thinking next year and the year after, the Bears salary cap is still going to be in pretty good shape. And I'm speaking mainly not towards this upcoming season, but the following season. Because right now, Trey Smith is franchise. He got the tag on him. So me personally, I'm hoping the Chiefs run out of avenue and the Bears got that money again and can throw it at Trey Smith. Hopefully he has someone, hopefully the Bears have at least top 2 money to throw at him. Then at that point, it'll come down to, okay, where do you want to go? What kind of coach do you want to play for? I mean, we got Ben Johnson, we got Caleb, so what's going on here? We got the sticky. All right, hold on for a minute. There we go. We got you now. We got you moving now. Move down past that stuff. You got it there. The Kansas City Chiefs will be sending out right guard Trey Smith without his left guard counterpart Joe Thuney in 2025 after the franchise dealt Thuney to the Chicago Bears for a 2026 fourth-round draft pick. Since Smith broke into the National Football Association with the Chiefs in 2021, Thuney was by his side as the two spent the next 4 seasons with each other, bringing in 2 Super Bowl championships in the making. While the Chiefs moved on from Thuney, his impact has lasted within the organization. And hopefully, like I said in the beginning, hopefully other factors come into play. And Trey Smith finds himself with the Chicago Bears anyway. That'd be the perfect scenario. I don't care if, move somebody to left guard, get Braxton Jones out of there, bring in Trey Smith, and boom, you got a solid offensive line. Thuney has been a champion everywhere he has gone, collecting championships with both the Chiefs and the New England Patriots. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The Chiefs reigning team MVP, as voted by his peers, looks to now bring a change to the fans and the city of Chicago with the Bears. While the nature of the Chiefs' offensive line has been shaken up for the foreseeable future, Smith believes he wouldn't be the type of player he is without a player like Thuney by his side. In an interview with First Things First, Smith what Thuney meant to and still means to him as a person and a player. Having a veteran guy like Joe, an all-pro player to me, a future Hall of Famer, being able to pick his brain, being able to come to him for insight and encouragement as well. It was amazing. This is coming from Smith. And that's, to have a solid veteran leadership, but that veteran leadership also being a perennial player, Pro Bowl player, future Hall of Famer, that goes a long way. That's why I don't care what it takes. If we got the money next offseason, the Bears got the money next offseason, try again. Try to get Trey Smith again. Team him up with, Thuney again. And my thing is keep a solid offensive line. That makes the evaluating the position players so much easier if you have a solid offensive line. Right away, if your receiver is lazy, he's not blocking, he's not running disciplined routes, he's not paying attention to the playbook, film study, it's easy to identify these problems on offense when your offensive line is good and solid. That's all I'm saying. Having a veteran guy like Thuney and all, wait, did I read that already? Let's go down a little more. We got the gist of that. My time with Joe is invaluable to me, man. He's one guy that I regard as one of my closest friends and a brother, Smith said. Well, Trey, you can always come to the Bears. Just like they had money this year to pay Drew Dalman. They'll have money for you next year, bro. Come on down. Going into the new campaign, the Chiefs will likely lean towards taking an offensive lineman to pair with or behind Smith for the future. The duo that Chiefs Kingdom became accustomed to seeing will now have to be adjusted. The Chiefs and Bears are not set to face each other this upcoming 2025-26 NFL campaign, but it would be easy to say that the two will keep in close contact, giving the relationship built. Yeah. I'm going to leave a link to this article in the description box below. You guys can read it for yourself and let me know what you think. Like, the impact that Joe Thuney had on Trey Smith, I mean, it happens when you got guys that also have talent. Because it's one thing to have a rah-rah guy and, he's getting you hype and, yeah, come on, do this and that. Eventually, younger guy, he got more talent than you. He going to look at you like, man, why am I listening to you? If you a buster, it just doesn't work. Even if the guy's a veteran, but he's an average player trying to hype up a star player in their prime, it doesn't work. But since Joe Thuney be putting in that work, Joe Thuney's a baller too. Pro Bowler, champion. It works better coming from him. The effect will last a lifetime throughout Trey Smith's career. It's a good thing. So me personally, I hope that, the Bears will have, just like this year they had money to, if Trey Smith didn't go back to the Chiefs, they had the money to pay him, and they still could have paid Drew Dalman. Now, that would have been a lot of money for those two. I don't know what other moves they could have made, but the one thing I will give Ryan Poles credit for, he's good with the salary cap, and it's been a while since the Bears had a GM that was like that. To me, his Achilles heel, ironically, he used to be an offensive lineman, but, seemed to have a hard time identifying blue chippers, talented offensive linemen in the draft. Hopefully, Ben Johnson has a lot more input on that end. Maybe a second set of eyes looking at offensive linemen. Maybe that'll help the process more. Maybe it'll be better now with Ben Johnson there. But we'll see. You guys let me know what you think. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and what you think about the long-term effect of Trey Smith. Will he be more inclined to maybe sign with the Bears next offseason? I hope so, but we'll see. This is Shy Out of Town Sports, and we are out of here.